You know, maybe in the summer things come. I wasn't expecting to get into any debates today. You know how it goes. One person says something stupid.
But I embraced
he converted to Christianity. Honestly, it's all God's work. Like, I've spoken to him a couple of times, but I haven't even helped him. Just reading the scriptures.
Do you love him? You alright? He's a man. You alright? Then you have to, understand what that really means. And when you study that, you understand that God is not parts, He's not composite, so you go to divine simplicity, something unfortunately Sunni Islam rejects, and is part of the reason why I never went to become a Sunni. But then when you understand divine simplicity, so it just means that God is identical to all His acts and attributes. So God is power, is knowledge, is wisdom, He has no parts, because if they were less than the whole of Him and not identical, there would be parts, because the part is just that which is less than the whole. So divine simplicity is to avoid composition. Then we understand that in divine simplicity, God knows Himself. And in knowing Himself, there's an opposing relation between the knower and the known. But what He knows is a perfect image of Himself, a reflection, the sun. So there's an opposing relation. That creates a distinction. They can't be identical. But God also is not composite, as we know. So there's no separation, no parts. So now there's two persons in the Godhead. These two persons, in knowing each other, will have a mutual relation of love, the inspiration of the Holy Spirit. So when you go through philosophy, you actually come to see that the Trinity is absolutely true. Trinity is the truth, and Jesus Christ is God Almighty.
We can do that in a minute.
You know what? I just finished it a bit. I don't know if I want to jump straight into another convo.
I'm genuinely just interested.
Yeah, man.
I remember talking to you, we're talking about slavery, we're talking about history.
Yeah, man.
And then I came off that, I was like, rah, this guy's actually very intelligent. Then, mashallah, a month later, Siyun Khamis, I was like, Allahu Akbar. All the intelligent people are coming to Islam.
Yeah, man.
Now, fast forward 3 weeks after, who do you talk to that convinces you that Christianity is the truth?
Myself.
Yourself?
Yeah, man.
Okay.
But he's gone from Shia, so it's no surprise there.
Yeah, but alhamdulillah, it's close enough. So Islam to you, so you know when you became Muslim, did you learn about the Prophet Muhammad, anything?
Yeah.
What do you think about it?
I just think, I don't know, his character really isn't that. Like, I know you guys, I'm not trying to say that I'm mad, but like, bro, did Jesus own a slave? No. Did Muhammad own a slave? Yes. Did Jesus ever kill anyone? No. Did Muhammad ever kill anyone? Yes. So we've got us at the root on this question in our hearts. Not what our religion tells us, but in our hearts. And I couldn't follow a man who claimed to be better than Jesus Christ, but did not do better than Jesus Christ.
So from the beginning, you were kind of iffy about the...
Not iffy, I tried. I really tried, didn't it? Because I was a shit. I didn't have to go through a lot of your tradition. But once you realize that, let's be real, the shit books are da'if, they're weak, they're not good. Your books are sahih, we'll admit that. They're historical, that's fine. But the problem is, then when you look at the character in those books, I'm just not impressed, bro. I'll keep it real.
Okay, and then, so when you say character, so who else were you impressed by?
I just think,
honestly, well, I'm not trying to throw you
I just think, in general, having slaves, Christ did not own slaves. We understand that some of the Jewish prophets may have been involved in slavery, but this law had a telos. Do you know what a telos is?
Telos, as in...
It moves towards, like your heart pumps blood, it has something that moves. The point of the law was to move towards the fulfillment of Christ, and all those things will be gone. So the moral law has remained. The other laws that contain in other various ceremonial and civic laws, those are to be abolished. They're not forever. Only the moral laws forever. Do not kill, honor your mother and father. So while we understand that we have this in our tradition, as many people like to point out, we also understand this is not for all time. Now, unfortunately, Islam's telos stopped when Muhammad died. So you can't move forward. You can't move forward to further your religion. Stay there. Tell us. I'm sorry to say, it's practically dead in the waters.
But how do you explain then all the school of thoughts that spring out after, way after the life of the Prophet?
What do you mean?
The Hanbalis, the...
Yeah? What do you mean? How do I explain it? So...
I mean, the tradition continues. It evolves,
crystallizes. But it doesn't evolve to move forward. It evolves to look back at the Salaf al-Salih. So this idea...
That's one mode.
No. Even the Ash'ari and the Maturidis, they themselves would claim they are upon the way of who? The Salaf, correct?
Yeah, but
so I'm not wrong. There you go.
No, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying that's just how the story.
No, any Sunni who were to say they don't follow the Salaf al-Salih...
Again, I'm not saying you're not supposed to follow the Salaf. However, as scholars are, they engage with the contemporary world that they are in. Because, like you said, the Ash'aris at one point didn't exist. They came into existence, due to a reaction.
Abu Musa al-Ashari.
Yeah, so it's a reaction to the philosophical influx that is coming into the region.
Yeah, I agree. Mu'tazilites.
Yeah, so there is clearly...
But you know the Asharis are terrible at philosophy though.
Do you reckon?
Co-eternal attributes. Lol.
I don't know. I mean, it's...
Polytheism is what it is. It's polytheism.
Trying to explain, well, it depends how you understood it.
I define anything that creates a real distinction with God that is not God as a polytheism, because they are necessary, eternal, and not God. Polytheism.
So it depends how you interpret that.
Unless you want to take Ghazali's approach.
Yeah, Ghazali's approach is quite interesting.
But Ghazali's not so good either.
Yeah, fair enough. But so all of this.
Yeah, man.
And then you say, well, you know what? I kind of like the idea of God being like one and just one only.
And God is one.
And then you're like, okay, now I'm going to become Christian, and I'm also going to accept that Jesus is God.
Amen.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
That's a bit like
fully man, fully God.
No, but that's really, I don't know. You're attracted to like divine simplicity.
Yeah.
And
divine simplicity proves the Trinity.
But how is it the Trinity if you have issues with the?
What issues do we have? Because the persons are all God. The Ashari said the attributes are not God.
Yeah.
So we say the three persons are distinct, but still all materially identical to the same essence. They're denying that. They're distinct and they are not God.
Well, the Asharis don't necessarily deny that those attributes aren't God. You know, it's just.
Then in what sense? So they are God, but they're separate from God? Uh-oh. That's even worse. You just said there are 99 other than God gods. Uh-oh.
That's not how it's understood.
Uh-oh.
The way it's understood is that God has attributes and names.
Yeah, and you guys understand that this understanding...
That has nothing to do with the essence of God.
No, I agree, but what we need to understand is if something is true, truth doesn't contradict truth. But I find Islam to be entirely anti-metaphysical. I believe it's anti-metaphysical, and especially the Athari creed. I find it to be the most anti-metaphysical creed in all of existence.
And can you explain why? Because I find that quite interesting.
Oh yeah, so for example, when we look at metaphysics, when we look at a necessary thing of an essence, we look at what something would have to have, and without that thing it would not be.
Yeah.
Let me ask you, if God didn't have hands, would he still be God?
Well, God doesn't have hands.
According to the Atharis, he has two right hands.
Yeah, but even then, and I don't fully agree with the idea of ithbat, this idea of like going beyond ithbat, meaning going beyond affirming.
I understand what you're saying, but you still affirm what the text says. He had two hands.
They say the ma'na.
I understand the ma'na, but you understand to do tafweed al-ma'na breaks the third law of logic, right?
Yeah. So so that's where I kind of disagree with them. However, even with the Atharis, they don't claim to know exactly what the hand is.
And that's the problem.
They say the hand is the hand.
Exactly. So you make the statement non-cognitive. The statement derives no real meaning.
No, but it's not like that because.
Yeah. So let me ask you something. Go on.
Right? Because if you think of Islamic theology, in particular, Athari in Ashari, it's negative theology.
I understand that, yeah.
Meaning, it's not about describing God, it's about how what God describes.
I think you're using the term negative theology wrong.
Negative theology?
No, you're using it wrong.
No,
you are. So negative theology is what they ascribe to people like Ibn Sina, who they call tatil, rejecters of attribute or deniers. So hold on. So negative theology in its proper terminology means that when you deny something of God, you're denying what he is not. That's not what you're doing.
No.
You're affirming what's in the Quran. So that's not a negative theology, that's a positive theology of affirmation. So you got that wrong.
No. God
you have.
Explains who he is.
Yeah, so that's a positive theology.
No. By explaining who he is, you know who he is not.
How do you know that?
Because he says, I am this, therefore I'm not that.
Okay.
So God does say in the Quran, where he linguistically denies certain attributes about him.
Go on, tell me.
For example, God says, I'm not three, I'm one.
Yeah, but what does he say? He's saying, I am just one God.
Yeah.
Now we ask you, why doesn't Allah understand the Trinity? Because the Trinity is one God, and that's been clearly defined for all of Christian history. So your God doesn't even seem to understand the Aqidah he's attacking. Isn't that a problem?
I mean, it's a good way of, this is like post-rationalization of Christians to look at Christianity, say, well, in reality, it is one God.
Because I have another question. Because the Quran calls many people polytheists. Never the Christians, though. Why is that? Why does the Quran never call us polytheists? It calls us Ahlul Kitabi.
It attacks like
it does, but it attacks it falsely. Yeah. Allah doesn't seem to understand what Christians believe. Yeah. Do you know how bad that is?
No. What do you mean?
Wake up, man. Come on.
What do you mean Allah doesn't understand?
He doesn't understand. He thinks we're saying there's three
That was
gods.
the most central.
We don't believe that.
No, but till this day, people have these arguments about God being three.
Yeah, because he is three.
It's not just, first of all.
But he says, but he doesn't just say, don't say I'm three. He says, because I am one God.
No,
but we're not denying he's one God. So he's made a misstatement on what Christians believe.
Hold on, then look at this. The Muslims understood it that way. Some of the Christians understand it that way. And the Jewish people believe that Christians are polytheists because of that. So,
well, no.
The thing is with Christianity, to begin with, there's not one way to understand Christianity to begin with.
I disagree.
What do you mean you disagree?
I follow the Holy One Apostolic Catholic Church.
Yes,
No. I follow the Catholic Church. Yes, I follow the Catholic. So there is one correct position. No. Communion with Rome.
No, but there's also an Anglican church.
They're the heretics.
I understand that you believe they're heretics.
So I don't care.
However, in the grand schemes of things, as an outsider, to be objective, I have to look at
Christianity. So to be objective, you have to judge what I believe. Now, I believe anyone that is not in communion with Rome is a schismatic heretic. That's not me coming to you, Akhi, and saying to you, right? Yo, but what about the Ahmadis, though? Right? Ridiculous, right? Because you're a Sunni Muslim.
Yeah.
So why would we address Ahmadis? We wouldn't, right?
I personally, if you ask me in front of the cameras, I wouldn't pass judgment on Ahmadi. I wouldn't.
You wouldn't? Wait. So can I ask you, anyone who believes there's another prophet after Muhammad, are they kuffar?
Yes.
Okay, so the Ahmadis are kuffar.
I mean, if that's what Ahmadi believes.
That's what they believe. Mirza Ghulam Ahmad, that's what they believe.
But I would say this.
So I come to you and say, oh, but these guys think there's another prophet, so I have to take that into consideration.
Very extreme.
Yeah, and Anglicans are also extreme heretics.
How is that extreme?
Because they're founded by King Henry, and you guys love to go on about King James' Bible, and you like to mock it, how can a king get involved? And then you're telling us we should follow a church founded by a king. Irony.
But where's the irony?
Irony.
The Council of Nicaea is literally seated and
and there's nothing. Yeah.
By an emperor.
Wasn't supervised by an emperor. That's false.
What do you mean? He was part of the council?
No. So he called a council because there was a particular bishop called Arius who was sprouting heresy. The same thing you believe today. Jesus is just a prophet. They came when they told him, you have lost your marbles, mate. That's what happened. And Constantine organized it, sure.
So it's even within your history that there's certain people who believe that?
Yeah, heretics. Yeah, good job.
Listen.
I can show you people in your history who believed...
You're opposed by a king. An emperor literally was...
Okay.
Partook in that very thing that...
He didn't partake. He didn't make arguments. He didn't go there and start telling them.
If I'm
have you read the Acts of the Council? Have you actually read it?
I've read about it a very long time.
Yeah. So tell me, at any place does Constantine himself have any input on the doctrine given?
I'm not saying that he has any doctrine.
Then it's done.
I'm not saying, but King Harry, or even King James don't have necessary doctrines.
I agree.
They commission these things.
No. So King James commissioned the Bible. We agree, from shoddy manuscripts from the 13th century, bad Greek manuscripts. We don't take from that. Now, King Henry VIII founded his own church so he may have a divorce.
Yeah.
This is corruption. This is blatant heresy. If I come to you and say, look, bro, what about the Alawites? The Alawites believe Muhammad Ali and Salman al-Farisi were God. They believe Jesus was God.
How are the Anglicans theologically heretics? What's so wrong about them?
Okay, so when we go to the Council of Ephesus, Acts 3, it makes quite clear that the Saint Peter was the pillar of faith and head of the church, and this role was then occupied by his successors at the time, Pope Constantine. So the Council of Ephesus makes clear, is anyone not in communion with Rome is a heretic who is schismatic from the pillar of the faith and head of the church.
Irenaeus wrote a whole book on the Irenaeus.
Saint Irenaeus.
Yeah. He wrote a whole book on I'm
going to ask you, do you know who Saint Irenaeus' teacher was? Apostle John.
Well, yeah, there's some.
So we also know who Saint Mark was as well. Born in Siena. We know his mother, we know his father, and we know his bishopric in Alexandria. So you guys talk about hadith. Our narration for Jesus is Jesus Mark, one straight line.
Well, I mean, I've never heard this one before, but yeah.
It's because it's true. If you go to the Coptic papacy, they have an unbroken chain of transmission from the first bishop of Alexandria, Saint Mark, to today.
Okay, so we speaking, you said heretics.
Yeah.
The way Irenaeus describes heretics is because of the certain things that believe about Jesus, Jesus' personhood.
Yeah.
And not necessarily who the head of the church
is. But that doesn't mean...
Because according to that...
Hold on. You're about to make a negative inference fallacy.
No, I'm not.
You are.
You can correct me afterwards.
Right.
I'm waiting for you to
sorry, my bad.
Because if that's the case, James, who was the head of the Council of Jerusalem, had also major issues with Paul. If it's to do with authority and who is an authority and who's to follow.
Yeah.
I mean that we have issues there as well. I'm specifically talking about theology when I say heretics. That's the way I understood it. I believe that's how the early Christians understood it.
That's great. So just because someone said something, you're now going to have to try and imply a negative inference. But then that's called a fallacious negative inference fallacy. So when you try to imply just because a positive statement about heretics has been made, it implies that there's no other inferences to be made, or the negative that this does not then include X. That's a fallacy.
No, we're going to have to speak human language.
I used human language, the language of logic. So logic is how we come. We're not going to do. If you're not going to do logic, I'm going to have to step out. I'm going to have to step out.
Logic the entire time.
No, we always have to do logic. For truth, there must be logic.
We've been doing logic the entire time.
Good, then let's not dismiss it.
What I'm saying is, you don't have to list the formula here. Tell me exactly where I did the negative inference.
Yeah, so you're trying to imply because it only talks about heretics in a theological way, it does not then include those who do not follow the church authority.
No, I'm saying if a church has a doctrine, then because what I want to establish is that you are saying, because I said, look, there's many different Christian denominations.
Yeah, and schism from Rome.
Ways on how they understand the book.
Yeah, schism from Rome.
Yeah. Now I understand that you're convinced, and you have conviction by your thing, but it does not.
And I brought evidence.
Perhaps, and that doesn't mean that you now are going to exclude every single one of them.
Why?
Because then that means you exclude him. He's not Catholic.
He needs to come home to Rome.
Yeah. I mean, you're a Christian yourself. You're not Catholic.
Just to make him happy, let me.
I'm asking.
No, but let me just appease his soul. No, let me just appease his soul. You, my brother, come home to Rome. Jesus loves you. There you go. He can be happy now, innit? He can be happy now. There you go.
What I want to illustrate, what I'm trying to display is that there is differences on how to understand Scripture.
As for you
always
too.
Going to be. The same applies to
So what's the point we're going towards here?
Huh?
What's the point we're actually going towards here?
The point I was trying to make was that you early on were saying that I don't even know, because you see this happens when we talk. But there was a point I was trying to make. But yeah, anyway.
Yeah, I don't know where I don't know exactly where we're going with this anymore.
It's just I find it fascinating that because obviously the intelligence that you have is you're very quick. I don't know. Have you been studying Christianity prior?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Oh, so it was an ongoing study.
I've been around Christians for a long time. Very smart.
You were Muslim. You were still studying Christianity.
Yeah, man.
Okay, fair enough. Well,
And the problem was for me is the Quran makes historical claims, but it's chained to those historical people. It's mashhul. No one knows how Muhammad is connected to Jesus. No one knows how Muhammad is connected to Moses. But the chain of prophets is in the Bible, right? From Adam all the way through to generations recorded. So the chain is there. But you guys chain to any of those people is mashhul, unknown. So what do we do in Islam when the chain is mashhul? We reject it. So the Quran, Muhammad is mashhul. We reject it.
But then you also have to reject Jesus.
No.
When Jesus in Jerusalem, when in the Gospel of John,
he's
walking around Jerusalem.
Yeah.
No one, the Pharisees don't know who he is.
That doesn't mean. No. That's not what I said though. That's not what I said though. I didn't say no one knows Muhammad. I said his chain is unknown.
I will quote a verse.
Jesus' chain is not unknown.
I will quote a verse.
Go ahead.
Where they question him.
Yeah.
And they asked him. They say, "Are you of Moses?" In the Gospel of John.
Yeah.
Is this what Moses brought forth?
Yeah.
Meaning they weren't sure who he was, but the category to define whether he was truthful was the teaching that he was bringing. Right? And this is why Jesus says in the Bible, I have not come to
abolish the law, but to fulfill it.
Because
so the telos of the law was to be fulfilled.
He's proven his point.
Yeah, but the point is
that
doesn't
mean that the lineage.
You're not getting it. Once again, Adam through to Jesus, chains in the Bible. We know all these people and the connection through to each other. Now Muhammad comes out of nowhere with a majhul claim, unknown claim, unknown claimant. No, he says who? Mutawatir hadith. Do you have any actual historical evidence other than that hadith?
Yes, historically the Arabs
have
been known to be Ishmaelites.
So they claim.
No, it's not claim. It's not.
Of course, they can prove it.
It's not. It's in the Bible.
Show me.
It's in the Bible.
Show me.
It's in the Bible when Ismail and Hagar.
And then prove to me Muhammad is from that lineage. Prove to me Muhammad is from that lineage.
My brother, it's a known thing.
No, I don't care what you think you know. I care what you think you can prove.
It's not about that. No, it's not about that. It's not about that.
There's no proof. It's unknown.
It's axiomatic.
No proof is that if.
It's axiomatic.
No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. No,
the same way
that's false.
It is axiomatic. The same way Jewish people know that they come from Jacob.
They have the ancestry though.
Based upon, according to what? Where are the outside sources?
Oh, well, you can get multiple Jewish sources. I'm not particularly...
Jewish sources, exactly.
Yeah.
So,
well, the point is, I'm not saying, yeah, but I'm not talking about Jewish sources. I'm not saying, why someone, I'm not saying that. I'm saying to you, how do you actually know that's true?
I told you because historically, the way Jewish people and the Arabs have
that's cool.
Have understood each other and the text.
Give me a demo.
They have known to be of the same lineage to this day.
So that's what people say. Can you demonstrate?
What do you mean demonstrate? I've demonstrated.
I mean Burhan demonstration.
This is.
You know, like Ibn Sina Kitab al-Burhan, do demonstration, demonstrate.
The demonstration that you're looking for me, I'm sure that you can't provide yourself. Okay?
What do I need to provide?
The demonstration, you're saying the lineage is
Gospel of Matthew, chapter 1.
Yeah, but this is a secular argument. You're arguing back to the book.
Oh, you want me to argue positively for the book? That's fine, I can do that.
No, I'm saying.
So no, let me argue positively for it. So it's not circular.
It is secular.
No, I'll make it not circular. I'll argue for it. Isaiah 48 through 53 is the most clear prophecy of the coming of the Messiah. What did it say in Isaiah 53? And by your bruises we shall be healed. And the punishment that made us whole fell upon him. And if he gives his life as a payment for sin, he will justify many. So this is a prophecy 800 years before Christ about his crucifixion. Found in the Dead Sea Scrolls 400 years before Christ. So this serves as our basis of evidence for the book being from God, because only God can make such a prophecy. So now it's no longer circular. I've given you a logical argument for my book. No, it's not.
Because the Christians, the early Christians, want some different sect or whatever.
We agreed, they were Catholic.
No, the early Christians were Jews from Jerusalem.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were Jews from Jerusalem.
And in Acts, they're first called Christians in Antioch. We agree.
Okay, yeah. So the early, especially the Christians or the early Christians that were with Jesus, and that generation that comes after.
Yeah, like Saint Mark, who wrote the Gospel of Mark, and attest to us that Jesus Christ is God.
Look, they had books and laws prior to Jesus. So therefore, the Bible, when it's compiled as an entire document. Yeah. Right? So therefore, it is a circular argument because you're going back to the very same document.
No.
So when I say to you, what do you mean?
No. I don't know if you've studied logic, but when someone offers a positive argument from the text that gives it some truth value, that it made a prophecy that is true, that validates something in the book as true and serves as an evidence, then you don't understand logic. That's alright though.
That makes sense to me.
That's fine.
Wait,
may I just close?
Okay,
Okay, that doesn't make sense to me because all I'm saying to you is very simple.
Okay.
For the viewers watching. I'm saying this brother is saying to me, where's the proof? I say the proof of Muhammad being an Ishmaelite is that it's oral tradition. It's something that's passed down so much that even outsiders, outsiders who are not part of the Ishmaelite tribes, know that this tribe is the of Ismail. So the other thing is this, what I'm saying to him is that
I want to see how consistent you are.
Provide proof for Jesus' lineage, you will find it within the Bible.
Matthew 1.
Therefore, if you can't provide, because he's asking for proof, I'm saying no, the same way you find the evidence for Jesus' lineage in the book, I'm saying I'm finding the evidence for the Prophet Muhammad's lineage within our traditions.
It's not in your Quran though.
But why is the Quran, why does it have to be in the Quran? Because
I didn't say it did, I said it's not.
No, but this I'm trying to say.
Don't put words in my mouth.
I'm not comparing the Quran to the Bible either. I'm just saying in terms of tradition and how tradition is preserved.
Yeah, but our tradition comes out of a clear context. From the Jewish religion, it emerges from the clear, consistent development of revelation towards the fulfillment of the law. Your religion is mashhul. It comes out of nowhere.
No, there's gaps between Jesus and Moses. What are you talking about?
There's no gaps. Wait. Do you think the Bible starts at the Torah and then we just get to the Gospels?
No, I'm saying no.
Look, bro.
Okay, let me finish.
You serious?
Have patience.
Yeah.
Let's have this conversation. I'm saying you said context, right? You said context. You said context. You said out of context. I am talking out of context.
Thank you, brother.
I'm talking about the Jerusalem context.
Yeah.
The Jerusalem criteria.
What criteria?
It's a thing in history where they look at Jesus' language and the way Jesus lived. If you can afford me some respect.
Sorry, that's my boy, innit?
Yeah. So, you said context.
Yeah.
I'm saying within the context of Jesus and within his lifetime, there is no direct link that the people are making with Jesus and the lineage of the prophets.
Okay, that's cool. Now, if I know you...
Hold on. Before you said it's cool, do you acknowledge that?
Yeah, I'm acknowledging
that's
it.
where the gap is. That's the gap I'm talking about.
There's not a gap. There's not a gap. Okay, you just telling me.
I'm not talking about the Bible.
Hold on. Hold on. So you're telling me just because these people don't connect it. Okay, if I see you.
They're the children of Israel.
Hold on.
It's not just
hold on. Hold on. If I know you, and I don't know your mother, and I see your mother, and I don't connect you to, does that mean anything about the truth of the proposition that you're connected? There we go, class. And now let me ask you a second. It's not.
It's false comparison.
It's not.
The example I'm saying is that I am part of a tribe.
Yeah.
Okay. And the tribe has a leader.
Yeah.
And that leader, before him there was other people, and other people, like it goes back, that's a lineage.
Yeah.
Now, an outsider comes from the tribe. We don't know who this person is, but claims to be from the same lineage.
Yeah.
So that's the point I'm trying to make.
Okay, so it's not that it's because those particular people don't know who he is, it means he's not from that tribe?
No,
according to you, because remember your argument's going to cut yourself.
Yeah.
Even according to your belief, where is Jesus from?
Well, he's from the Israelites.
Thank you. Yeah. So even your tradition can admit it. Thank you.
No, but what I'm saying is the reason why I believe that is the reason why I believe that the Prophet Muhammad is from the Ishmaelites.
Oh yeah, by the way, do you want to read that? That's why the argument's not circular.
What?
Because if you accuse my argument of being circular, this is not a circular argument.
What I'm saying is, I'm not talking about the prophecy. I'm not talking that. I'm saying, if I'm saying, for example, right, my dad owns whatever. My dad owns this plot of land, yeah, and the court specifically asked for a corroborating evidence. Right, corroborating evidence that is outside of what I can provide, meaning my dad wrote something on a paper saying this land belongs to me. Yeah. But I need the register from like the council to corroborate what he's saying. That's what I'm saying.
Wait, so let me get it straight. His argument is the Old Testament makes specific prophecies about the New that couldn't be explained outside of divine revelation. Okay.
But you can't separate the two. You can't separate the Old
Testament. I don't think
you're
understanding.
You can't separate the Old Testament and the New Testament.
Why? You have manuscripts of the Old Testament.
No, but you have literally the book there within you. So you're just inheriting a heritage that already exists, and then you're infusing yourself in there.
No, because if the Old Testament comes before the New, right, and let's say the Old Testament said, in 1,000 years, a man is going to be crucified, die for the sins of many, and it makes very specific prophecy. Let's just say he's right about that, about the Old Testament, right? If the Old Testament does say that, then it's not just, oh, it's one book. It's that this actually comes before and verifies that one book. That's his argument, right?
Yeah, but hold on. One thing you seem to misunderstand is that when you look into the Old Testament and you read your Christian interpretation into it, that's a bit separate issue.
But you can look at
because
the Jewish interpretation as well.
if you go to Jewish people who are preserving this book, they're not going to read the interpretation of the things.
Then they're just wrong.
The Jewish Sanhedrin did believe that.
No, hold on.
They believed Isaiah 53 was about Jesus.
No, hold on.
The Messiah.
Hold on. We're in the 21st century right now. We are Christians. You're Christians. I'm Muslim. There's Jewish people. If they go to the Old Testament, and I've seen many debates here where Christians and Jews would debate about certain prophecies, and they would hold on. Let me finish. Let me finish. And they would say to Christians, "This is not what this means."
Okay.
Therefore, I'm saying to you that the book, you've compiled the book and you've inherited a tradition, and then you're reading into that tradition.
Okay, but that's similar to if you were saying Muhammad is prophesied in Deuteronomy 18, and then Ananda said,
I didn't say that.
Wait, no, but I'm just giving you a counter example. And then Ananda said, well, Christians and Muslims disagree about the interpretation, therefore he couldn't possibly be in there. That's not how that works. It's like we have to say, okay, whose interpretation is more parsimonious with what the text is saying?
I also don't understand.
Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to read any religious text and get any meaning from it, because all sorts of people disagree with it.
This is literally what in the 19th century. The idea of what's it called?
Textual criticism.
And what's the other one? Interpretation. Exegesis. And what's the other one? Hermeneutics. This is precisely, mashallah, we go through all of them. Hermeneutics, right? The Germans come up with this idea of like, okay, how do we interpret this text? How do we understand this text? Because precisely with ancient text, there's always going to be different opinions and perspectives on things. So therefore, I'm saying from the Christian perspective, if we say it from the Christian perspective, it is a book that you inherited that is within the same tradition that you believe Jesus is from.
Wait, hold up, sorry.
It's not a
Wait,
separate text.
the reason why I don't understand your criticism, there's Messianic Jews. They read the Old Testament and they... Your criticism is saying, from what I understood, is you basically saying, okay, when you're a Christian, you read the Old Testament with a Christian lens, and then you compare the Old Testament with the New Testament, and then you then say that the New Testament is a completion or fulfillment of the Old Testament. But there's Messianic Jews, there's people within a Jewish tradition that understand the Old Testament to be compliant with the New Testament. So what we say is, under the Christian interpretation, okay, our view, including the Messianic Jews, is far more parsimonious than the Jewish view. And then we say, okay, then our view is correct from there. But you're giving criticisms on silence. You're not really giving us a contrary.